What if everything you've been told about success at work is backward? What if doing less could actually help you accomplish more? And what if the secret to productivity wasn't about adding tasks, but removing distractions? In today's world, busyness is a badge of honor. We measure our worth by how packed our calendars are and how late we stay online. We've convinced ourselves that multitasking equals efficiency, that hustle equals success. But the truth is, most people aren't busy because they're productive. They're busy because they're unfocused. They're juggling so many things that they can't see what truly matters anymore. That's where minimalism comes in. Minimalism at work isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing what matters, deeply, intentionally, and with clarity. It's the quiet power of less that leads to more. When your mind and workspace are cluttered, your creativity shrinks. Think of your brain like a desk. When it's piled high with papers, gadgets, and distractions, there's no room left to think clearly. You move things around trying to make space, but everything competes for your attention. You're constantly reacting instead of creating. That's what modern work culture has become. Reaction over reflection. The minimalist approach flips that. It clears your desk and your mind, so instead of constantly moving, you start focusing. You stop mistaking motion for progress. You begin to see the difference between activity and achievement. The first principle of minimalism at work is focus on the essential. Ask yourself, what tasks truly move the needle? What brings real value? What contributes to your goals, not just your to-do list? Most people spend 80% of their time on work that produces only 20% of their results. They answer endless emails, attend unnecessary meetings, chase short-term wins. But the minimalist mindset asks, what if you cut away the noise? What if you stopped scattering your energy across 10 directions and went all in on the two that matter most? Productivity doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things, consistently and well. This shift starts with your environment. Look around your workspace. Every object, every open tab, every notification competes for your brain's attention. Studies show that visual clutter increases stress and lowers concentration. When your space is chaotic, your mind is too. Minimalism at work begins by creating a calm, physical space that invites clarity. Keep only what you use daily. Organize with intention, not decoration. When your surroundings breathe, so do you. You'll notice you feel lighter, calmer, and sharper, not because you're working harder, but because you're no longer fighting against distractions every second. The second principle is mindful prioritization. Many people start their day by checking their inbox, and that's the first mistake. Your inbox is everyone else's agenda, not yours. Before you open any messages, ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things I must do today? Then protect your time, do them first. That's minimalism in action. Filtering the noise, focusing on what truly matters, and refusing to scatter your attention across low-impact tasks. When you learn to prioritize with intention, you achieve more by doing less. You trade busyness for effectiveness. The minimalist mindset also applies to meetings. Modern workplaces are drowning in them. Endless discussions, half of which could have been emails. Every meeting you attend has a hidden cost: time and focus. Minimalism challenges you to ask, does this meeting create clarity or just more clutter? If it doesn't move the mission forward, skip it. If it's necessary, make it concise. Fewer meetings mean more deep work, that uninterrupted time where creativity and innovation actually happen. The less time you spend talking about work, the more time you have to actually do it. The third principle is single tasking. We've been conditioned to believe that multitasking is a superpower, but science says otherwise. Each time you switch between tasks, your brain loses momentum. You take longer, make more mistakes, and feel more drained. Minimalism at work means giving your full attention to one thing at a time. When you write, just write. When you plan, just plan. When you rest, just rest. Focus isn't about intensity, it's about presence. When you bring your whole mind to one task, you do better work in less time and you end the day feeling accomplished instead of scattered. Then there's digital decluttering. The modern worker's biggest clutter isn't on their desk, it's on their screen. Constant notifications, unread emails, endless tabs, they all pull your focus away from what matters. Start by turning off non-essential notifications. Close apps you don't need. Use digital tools as servants, not masters. Schedule times to check messages instead of reacting instantly. A minimalist digital environment helps you reclaim your attention, and attention is the currency of productivity. The fewer things demanding it, the richer your focus becomes. Minimalism also changes how you manage your goals. Instead of juggling dozens of objectives, you focus on one major outcome at a time. It's better to complete one impactful project than start 5 that never finish. Simplify your goals until they're clear and achievable. Then, break them into smaller, consistent actions. Minimalism transforms big ambitions into steady progress. You stop rushing, you stop feeling behind, you start building momentum. Progress becomes peaceful. But the true power of minimalism at work isn't just about systems, it's about mindset. It teaches you to value depth over speed, clarity over chaos. You stop glorifying busyness. You stop equating worth with output. You begin to see that success isn't about how much you do, but about how aligned your work is with your values. You ask yourself, does this work bring meaning or just motion? Minimalism helps you reconnect with purpose, to remember why you do what you do. And that sense of meaning is what fuels real excellence. When you embrace minimalism, you also learn the art of strategic rest. Doing less doesn't mean being lazy, it means respecting your limits. It means understanding that creativity needs space, that innovation thrives in silence. When you rest intentionally, you come back sharper. Breaks are not interruptions, they're investments in clarity. A minimalist workday includes moments of pause, time to breathe, reflect, and reset. Without those pauses, productivity becomes burnout disguised as progress. Minimalism also improves collaboration. When you simplify systems and communication, your team operates with more transparency and trust. Fewer processes mean faster decisions. Clear roles mean fewer misunderstandings. A minimalist team focuses on outcomes, not appearances. Everyone knows what matters and what doesn't. Meetings become meaningful, feedback becomes focused, and work becomes purposeful. The energy once wasted on confusion turns into momentum. Emotionally, minimalism helps you detach your self-worth from constant achievement. In high-pressure environments, people often confuse exhaustion with success. But being busy all the time isn't a badge of honor, it's a warning sign. The minimalist mindset reminds you that your value doesn't depend on your productivity. You are not your job title, you are not your to-do list. You are a person with finite energy and infinite potential if you protect your focus. Doing less allows you to show up as your best self, not your busiest self. Minimalism also teaches resilience. When your work life is simplified, you respond to challenges with clarity instead of panic. Chaos doesn't shake you because your priorities are clear. You don't crumble under overload because you've built systems that support balance. You stop firefighting and start forward planning. That's the quiet strength of minimalism. Calm confidence in a world addicted to noise. Let's be honest, adopting minimalism at work isn't easy. The pressure to do more is everywhere. You'll feel guilty for saying no, for pausing, for slowing down. But here's the truth. Saying no to the unimportant is saying yes to excellence. You're not rejecting work, you're refining it. You're not giving up ambition, you're giving it focus. And once you taste that calm, intentional rhythm, you'll never want to go back to chaos. You'll realize that simplicity isn't weakness, it's mastery. Imagine starting your day with clarity. You know exactly what to focus on. You're not rushing, you're moving deliberately. Your workspace is clean, your mind is clear, and your energy is steady. You move through tasks with purpose. You leave work on time, not because you did less, but because you did what mattered most. That's the power of minimalism. It replaces chaos with control, burnout with balance, and noise with peace. Minimalism at work is the future of true productivity. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter with meaning and mindfulness. It's about trading endless busyness for calm efficiency. It's about mastering the art of focus in a distracted world. Once you experience it, you understand that less isn't loss, it's liberation. Because when you stop filling your day with what doesn't matter, you finally have space for what does. Thank you for watching this video on Think Fresh Daily. If this message inspired you to rethink your work habits and embrace the power of simplicity, please like this video, share it with someone who needs a little clarity, and subscribe to Think Fresh Daily for more insights on living better by doing less.